Okay, so very good afternoon to Madam Ikra and fellow friends. And my name is Josh Nadia and manufacturing number 303938. And today I'll give a speech. The topic is the rise of vaping among the youth generation. Okay, first of all, did you guys know what's the main difference between the vape and the traditional cigarette? Anyone?
Yes.
No. Okay, and I will review it, which is the cigarette is using electronic. So now we will on to this, which is a vape or electric cigarette. It's a tobacco stimulating device, which is got the cartridge, the atomizer, the sensor, and the battery. And the user does not inhale smoke, but vapor, so-called vaping. And actually, this product is introduced to smoking quitting device among adults, but suddenly, this vape unexpectedly gained a popular trend among the youth generation. So, based on the report on October 2025 by WHO, the World Health Organization, it estimated at least 15 million of teens, which is among 30 to 15 years old, are using the vape. This is actually a very horrible data. And today our speech is an attempt to look into the real factor that have made vaping so attractive to the youth. So now we come to the first point. First, I think everyone here has experienced like when you are scrolling phone, you will suddenly pop up an advertisement about vaping, right? So the first point is, okay, the social media often influence the youth's vaping methods. So based on a report from the Grace Kong, which is the PhD from Yale School of Medicine, she said about there are no strict in social media like in most of the traditional media. And therefore, marketers could stay under the radar where they could not do in television or the billboard. The team has discovered the tobacco industry employs a wide variety of marketing methodologies on social media. In many cases, they promote through their own social media where they provide coupons, discounts, contests to audience as large as hundreds of thousands. So I think as a teenager, I think it's quite hard for them to handle the conditions like this. Yeah, so now we come to the second, which is the biggest company usually targets sponsoring music festival and event for exposure. Now we look at the first poster right here, which is in 2013, the Blue Cigarette sponsors Watch, which is the music festival in Washington. And another one, which is another brand of e-cigarette, which is Juul, sponsored a music film summit at the 2018 Sundance Film Festival in Utah. So actually, these both examples are marketing techniques that are banned for cigarette and smokeless tobacco companies. However, these companies skirt this restriction with other type of experimental marketing, which is the 1998 Master Settlement Agreement and the 2009 Family Smoking Prevention and Tobacco Control Act prohibited cigarette and smokeless tobacco company from sponsoring the music, the sports, and other cultural events because of evidence that link this type of marketing tactics to youth tobacco use. Other types of tobacco products, including the e-cigarette, are not bound by this restriction. So that these show that our law is still incomplete and has many things our judiciary need to include because the vape company like this often spot a law loopholes to promote their product to the youth. And now, before we move on to the second point, I need you guys to imagine like when you are entering an ice cream shop, right? You will see a lot of ice cream, you got caramel, you got strawberry, you got apple, cinnamon, whatever. Like, you want to have it taste, right? And also, after you see that, you see their packaging so attractive, so beautiful, yeah. You want to buy it, all right? It's actually same as the vape. Now we move on to the second point, which is the flavors and design of the vapes are attempting to use to try that. The broad assortment of flavors and eye-catching design of the vaping device designed to lure young users is also another significant reason. So, in comparison with the traditional cigarettes that are bitter and unpleasant taste, vape liquids are available in hundreds of flavors. You got mango, you got watermelon, you got apple, and so much more. Those tastes overpower the nicotine bitter taste, and young people are more willing and happy to begin vaping. Okay, based on the general scientists at National Institute of Public Health and Environment (RIPM) Netherlands name, Rich Cole, he also the director of the WHO Collaborating Center of Tobacco Product Regulation and Control. He said that flavoring agents form one of the most popular types of additives in tobacco and nicotine products that are aimed at making them more appealing and covering the unpleasant nature of nicotine and tobacco. And and making this product tastier and more attractive, particularly to the first-time user, which is mostly our youth, and making it difficult to quit. So now we move on another one, which is the appearance of many vapes. It's based on common objects like the USB drive, the hikers, or color gadgets, non-smoking products. Many of vapes are designed after ordinary objects, thus hard to be spotted by parents and teachers. The devices are easily portable in pocket or bags and are therefore user-friendly to the children and less threatening. Packaging is also modern and gimmick, and that is produced in extreme color and humorous cartoon resembling candy or energy drink branding. These design alternatives make vaping fun, healthy, and even fashionable. You can see like this is quite fashion, I think, and this I think is like the design based on power bank, and this is just like what I said, it's very portable. You can just put it in the pocket and start vaping. Yeah, so it's very user-friendly design. And now we move on to number 3. This number 3 is allow me to use 2 myths that the use misperception to harm of the vapes, which is the first myth: vapes are harmless and contain only flavor water. Is it like this? No, the reality is that even zero nicotine vape do not have flavor water or flavoring, but they are airborne particles and can have harmful chemicals such as we got ketamine, we got formaldehyde, we got tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, acrolein, and xylitol, and last the toxic metal. These all the things will also be harmful to all the human body because not even adult and also youth. And now we move on to the second myth, which is vapes are less addictive than tobacco. Is it true? This is founded on the fact that vapes are meant to be nicotine-free, and that's the reason why normal is safer than cigarette smoking. This may not be true. The vape which accompanies the e-cigarette, commonly known as the e-juice, is usually full of nicotine. Nicotine is an extremely addictive substance. Once starts the habit of vaping, it might be hard to quit it. And the nicotine has certain adverse effects, which includes increased risk of heart attack because the blood pressure and heart rate increase. And secondly, which is to weaken the immune response of the body against cancer and make it less effective in treating cancer. So therefore, one should not think that an e-cigarette that he or she will buy are free of nicotine. It is also more difficult to establish the kind of chemical content in this vape when you buy them locally, as they are sold illegally without any control. Although it is said by the seller, the nicotine-free vapes that one is buying are not necessarily free with nicotine. So now we move on to the conclusion. Say also vaping, yeah, of course. And lastly, the images of vaping among modern youth cannot be attributed to one particular factor, but rather the strong forces that influence the decision of youngsters. Knowing these 3 causes, we can better see why vaping has turned into such a popular trend among young generation. It's reminding us of the necessity of better education and powerful awareness so that the young people may make wise choices concerning their health. With the year-round development and expansion of vaping, it is important that school, family, and community collaborate to respond to the effect of vaping and protect the health of coming generation. That's all for my speech. Thank you. And now we move on to the Q&A session. And one other question. Yes, please.
Why do you think social media is more effective than traditional advertising in influencing youth to be?
So I think social media is a part of youth in daily life and show vaping as trendy and socially acceptable, unlike the traditional ads. Social media promote a subtle and constant, making young people more likely to try it. Yeah, so that's all. And
I have another question. What will happen if society ignore the problem of youth smoking or vaping in the next 10 years? What's your opinion?
so in my opinion, that maybe the higher addiction rates will become higher. Of course, more health problems from the youth generation, and of course the cost of healthcare will increasing. Yeah, I think that's all for my speech. I think.
Thank you.